Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thuli's Confessions, where true stories, mystery, and African drama come to life. Subscribe and step into a world where the unseen becomes real, and every story leaves you wanting more.
My name is Thulisile Dube, born and raised in Bulawayo, Mahlabe Zulu. I was never one to believe in fairy tales or magic, but today I live with a man who came back from the dead. My husband, Tendai Mudzamiri, the love of my life, is a ghost, and not just a memory, but a living presence in my home. We met at Nust in Bulawayo, him studying engineering, me in social work. Tendai was everything I wasn't supposed to fall for. He was loud, Shona, a Harare boy with swagger and confidence, but he made me laugh, listen like no one ever had, and loved me with a softness that made me forget every warning my aunties gave me about marrying outside our tribe. Our love was powerful. We had 2 beautiful kids, built a home in Borrowdale together, ran a successful small logistics business. We were the perfect match of hustle and heart. Even his mother, who once looked at me like I'd stolen her son with Ndebele charms, finally smiled at me during our lobola ceremony. But happiness doesn't warn you when it's about to end. Tendai died in a car accident on the Harare-Masvingo road. Just like that. No goodbye. No last hug. I screamed until my throat bled. I buried him with my own hands. I dressed him for the coffin with the same hands that once undressed him in love. Then the war began. His family changed overnight. The same people who laughed at our wedding came with empty suitcases and greedy eyes. Murume wedu akasia zvinhu jinji, they said. He left land, trucks, accounts. Everything belongs to us. I stood my ground. I had every receipt. Every deed had our names. I took them to court. And I won. But I underestimated how far bitterness can go. 2 months after the court ruling, strange things started happening. Doors opening by themselves, the smell of Tendai's cologne in the hallway, my son talking to someone in the dark. "Daddy comes to kiss us when you're asleep," he told me. I thought it was grief. Until one night, I woke up and there he was, Tendai, sitting on our bed, dressed in his burial clothes, eyes empty but familiar. "Thuli," he whispered. They brought me back. His family had gone to a powerful traditional healer in Murhwa. They called it Kudzorera Mudzimu, a ritual to bring back a dead spirit when death feels unfinished. They wanted to torment me. And it worked. Now I live with a man who walks like Tendai, talks like Tendai, even holds me at night like he used to. But he's not Tendai. He doesn't eat. He doesn't breathe. But he watches. He whispers things only my real husband would know. I tried churches. I tried prophets. I tried running. But everywhere I go, he follows. Now I sleep with one eye open. I kiss my children with trembling lips. And every morning, I make tea for a ghost who refuses to leave. Because love, in Zimbabwe, doesn't end with death. It becomes something else, something terrifying. My confession begins under the thin light of a full moon, while Tendai sits silently in the chair across from me, just as he has every night since that terrible day. I wonder if anyone will ever believe this, but I have to get it out, even if I whisper it to the darkness. Tendai's skin is cold, but he looks just as he did the morning before his accident. His coffee cup untouched on the table, steam frozen in time. He was gone, yet he is here. He breathes only in my terror. It started a week after the funeral when I returned to our empty home. On the porch he stood tall in the evening light. And at first I thought my grief had finally driven me mad. He made no step toward me, but he was right there, watching me with those worried eyes. He didn't speak, just nodded slowly as I froze. My heart nearly stopped. That evening, it was the children who noticed him first. Blessing gasped to see Tendai brewing tea in the kitchen, humming a Shona lullaby. "Mama, Daddy is home," she cried, eyes wide with joy. My son peeked around blessing, nodding as if he accepted it. Of course he would, because he recognized his father. I forced a smile at their obvious game, telling them he was just playing hide and seek. Inside, I was screaming. Whispers spread through the neighborhood. Mrs. Kumalo down the street said under her breath, "I heard strange noises from your house, Thuli," as she clasped her amulet tighter. I tried to laugh it off, but inside I was terrified. Later that night, in the dim kitchen light, I finally dared to ask Tendai why he had returned. He answered softly, "This must be my punishment, that I linger when the one I loved sleeps in silence by my side." At night, when the children were asleep, I sat across from him at the kitchen table by candlelight. "What do you want?" I whispered, my voice trembling as I poured coffee I knew he'd never drink. His eyes glowed softly in the flickering light. In a distant whisper he said, "My family performed a ritual to bring me back, but I cannot leave." A knot formed in my chest. "Leave? We promised we'd always be together," I choked out. His transparent hand found mine across the table. I squeezed it and whispered, "You should be at peace." He simply looked at me and murmured, "I belong here with you." In desperation, I sought help from a church prophet. His church pulsed with drums and incense as the congregation prayed for deliverance. The prophet insisted Tendai was possessed by a dark spirit and demanded I sprinkle holy water around his image. I did so with trembling hands. Tendai only laughed softly, a hollow sound, and blew the droplets back at me. I fell to my knees, sobbing. I knew he was no demon, just a lost husband. Next, I turned to the old ways, calling an Inyanga from my mother's village. By firelight, she chanted and tasted the smoke. She told me Tendai's family had used dark muti to bind him as Ngozi, a vengeful spirit. I had brought his hair and our wedding ring for her ritual. The Inyanga burned the hair and herbs, murmuring incantations. "This will calm him. For a night," she said, staring into the flames. But when she touched the ring to the fire, I panicked and snatched it back. The ring belonged to our vows. I could not let it go. Each morning after these rituals, my life feels more unraveled than the night before. In the dawn light, I often see Tendai gliding through the house. He kneels by the small grave I dug in the backyard, fingers pressing the soft earth as if longing to feel it. He never speaks, but sometimes our children pass him notes and giggle as if he is playing with them. Blessing told me last night that Tendai hums the lullaby he made up for her in Bulawayo, singing it softly in Ndebele as he used to. I hold back tears. Their smiles comfort me, but my heart feels heavier each day. I wonder if he will ever forget how to sing our song when he finally goes. Neighbors avoid our gate now. At the market, I feel eyes on me when I draw water. Some mothers clutch their children away as I pass. One day, the local teacher asked me quietly if I was all right, since my kids had mentioned a spirit in class. "He comes to school with me," my son admitted softly. "He sits at the front." I gave a weak smile and told her they had vivid imaginations, but inside, the fear is a fire burning at my chest. I thought about moving, back to Harare, Bulawayo, even to my grandmother's farm, but wherever I go, Tendai's spirit would follow. Late at night, he whispers softly, "I belong here, with you." The house we built with laughter is now an echo chamber of terror. I cannot turn off the lights, cannot walk alone at night. Sometimes I wake with his arm around me, even though it is empty. I want to scream, but I don't want to wake the children. In desperation, tonight I wandered to a small shrine by the river near Tendai's childhood home. I knelt by the withered flowers his family had placed there and prayed to Mwari and my ancestors. "Please, show me mercy." The lantern in my hand flickered and the wind howled. For a moment I thought I heard voices whispering in a language I had forgotten. When I returned home, I found Tendai standing silently in the doorway. He watched me with those familiar sorrowful eyes. "We'll find a way, my love," I whispered. He simply gave me a sad smile and vanished. I sank to the floor, trembling and alone. I realize now I am living between two worlds. In daylight, I wear a black shawl and answer people with a polite smile. At night, I am a mother of ghosts. No one sees what I see. Only I know the way he looks at our children, with such love and longing. Tendai never speaks of anger or revenge toward his family, only of how much he misses our old life. I do not know if his spirit can ever be set free. But I do know I am slowly losing myself to the fear. Tonight, as I kneel by my bed, he sits beside me. Tendai reaches up with a gentle hand and brushes a strand of hair from my face. He hums that familiar lullaby again as Blessing sleeps between us, believing her father is there to keep her safe. I whisper softly, "I am here, it's okay. You can rest now." Only silence answers. The clock ticks on the wall. Outside, a lone goat bleats. In the darkness, I mouth a final plea, not to Tendai, but to God and to any spirits who will listen. Deliver us, please.
Thank you for watching. If this story gave you chills or touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More powerful confessions and untold African stories are coming your way. Until next time, keep your eyes open. Some spirits never rest.